Imagine a night where the moon is swallowed by darkness, and the wind whispers eerie secrets. A place where the flickering candlelight illuminates the chilling chants of demonic rituals, where blood sacrifices and sinister black magic ceremonies take place. This isn't just a figment of imagination. It's a glimpse into the terrifying secrets of witchcraft, hidden for centuries. And this is just the beginning, because today, we're diving deep into a chilling iceberg that will uncover the darkest and creepiest secrets of witchcraft. Are you ready to step into the abyss? But remember, this is just the surface. As you know, the darkest and most terrifying parts of an iceberg lie beneath the water. Tonight, we'll descend into the deepest, most disturbing, and most painful levels of this iceberg, where we'll uncover the horrifying truth behind real-life witchcraft rituals that aren't just legends but have been lived and endured by people throughout history. Do you have the courage to face this darkness? If so, let's begin. Potion making was a process in which herbs, minerals, and sometimes bizarre ingredients, like insects, animal blood, or bones, were used to create magical mixtures. These potions were made for different purposes, such as healing potions, to cure illnesses and heal wounds. Love potions, to make someone fall in love. Death potions, to cause harm or even death. Power potions, to gain strength and supernatural abilities. The art of potion making was mostly in the hands of women who had deep knowledge of herbal medicine. However, during medieval Europe, whenever a potion was misused or its effects were misunderstood, the potion maker was often labeled a witch and accused of practicing dark magic. This led to severe punishments and cruel treatment. Potion making wasn't just a casual task, it was a formal ritual. A common process went something like this. The process of potion making. 1. Choosing the ingredients. Each potion required different ingredients. For example, a love potion might include rose petals, honey, and mandrake root. Many potions were made at night under the moonlight because people believed that the moon's energy enhanced the potion's effects. During potion making, certain spells or chants were recited to activate the potion's magical properties. All ingredients were mixed into water or another liquid and boiled. The color and steam of the potion were believed to indicate its strength and power. Once everything aligned correctly, the potion was considered complete. While potion making was an art, it was also a dangerous practice. If a potion had unintended effects, the potion maker could be accused of using black magic on purpose. Even if a healing potion failed, people often believed that the maker was actually a witch using demonic forces. For example, if someone gave a love potion and it didn't work, people assumed the potion maker had evil intentions or was practicing dark magic. If someone died from a mysterious illness, it was often blamed on a potion. Potion making was no longer just a craft. It became a symbol of fear and suspicion. The moment someone was identified as a potion maker, they were often met with distrust and paranoia. Many people were executed due to their connection to potion making, especially during the witch trials. One notable case was in 1590, involving Agnes Sampson, a Scottish herbalist and healer. She was accused of making a potion that allegedly caused people's deaths. Her trial was horrific. After being tortured, she falsely confessed to using potions for demonic purposes. If someone was found guilty of potion making with evil intent, they faced brutal punishments such as being burned alive at the stake, drowning tests. They were thrown into water to see if the potion's effects protected them. If they survived, they were declared witches. Severe mental and physical torture to extract confessions. Potion making, once a practice of healing and wisdom, became a death sentence. A single failed potion could destroy someone's entire life. Hexes and curses were powerful forms of dark magic, used to bring misfortune, suffering, and even destruction to a person, object, or place. They were considered some of the most feared supernatural practices in history. Hexes. Smaller, more specific spells meant to cause minor harm, such as sickness or bad luck. Curses. Stronger and long-lasting, capable of affecting entire families, communities, or even generations. Different rituals and intentions were used to place a hex or curse. Some of the most common methods included: 1. Using symbolic objects. A wax or clay figurine, representing the victim, was created. Pins were inserted or symbols were carved onto it to inflict suffering. 2. Mantras and spells. A specific incantation or chant was spoken to activate the curse. These spells were often in Latin, Greek, or other ancient languages. Personal belongings, such as hair, clothing, or an item from the victim, were sometimes used to strengthen the spell. 3. Using the power of nature. Rituals were performed during the night or under lunar eclipses, as these were believed to amplify magical energy. Animal sacrifices were sometimes made to make the curse more powerful. Some curses were so powerful that they were believed to affect entire communities or regions. Ancient Egyptian tombs were said to be protected by curses. It was believed that anyone who disturbed a pharaoh's grave would face death or disaster. Some families were believed to be cursed for generations, passing down misfortune and suffering to their descendants. Now, let's uncover the reasons behind these terrifying hexes and curses. Curses were not placed randomly. There were deep, often terrifying reasons behind them. 1. Revenge, used to punish an enemy or settle a personal grudge. 2. A show of power, to instill fear and demonstrate supernatural strength. 3. A method of control, to manipulate people into submission or obedience. Those who fell victim to a hex or curse often experienced unexplainable and terrifying events in their lives. 1. Declining health. Victims suffered from sudden illnesses or mysterious medical conditions. 2. Financial ruin. They lost their wealth, property, or ability to sustain themselves. 3. Mental torment. Hallucinations, depression, and disturbing nightmares haunted them. Being cursed meant a lifetime of suffering and fear. The psychological torment alone was enough to destroy a person. Once someone believed they were cursed, their mind started playing tricks on them, making them feel powerless and doomed. One chilling case from medieval Europe tells of a woman accused of cursing her neighbor, whose entire family mysteriously fell ill. Authorities arrested her, subjected her to brutal torture, and forced a false confession, claiming she had made a pact with the devil to cast the curse. Her fate: she was burned alive at the stake. This was the horrifying reality of the time. Anyone suspected of practicing dark magic faced unspeakable punishments. Hexes and curses weren't just superstition. They became a weapon of fear and psychological torture. A single curse had the power to ruin lives, break spirits, and lead to unimaginable suffering. A terrifying game or a tool of power. Imagine a small doll, not just made of fabric and thread, but one that holds control over a person's life. This is the Voodoo Doll, a mystical figure used for revenge, protection, and even altering a person's fate. Voodoo dolls were symbolic representations of individuals. The practitioners who used them, known as Houngans, priests, or Mambos, priestesses, performed rituals to influence the doll's target, whether for good or evil. This practice is deeply rooted in Haitian voodoo and New Orleans voodoo culture, but its origins trace back even further to African spiritual traditions. The concept of voodoo dolls originated in African indigenous religions, where they were called fetishes, objects believed to communicate with spirits. During the slave trade, African captives carried their cultural beliefs to the Caribbean and the Americas, which led to the birth of Haitian and New Orleans voodoo traditions. However, Christian missionaries demonized voodoo dolls, branding them as tools of dark magic, despite their true purpose being linked to spirituality and healing. It was believed that a spiritual link existed between a voodoo doll and the person it represented. This link was strengthened by inserting personal items into the doll, such as hair strands, pieces of clothing, Drops of blood. During rituals, a houngan or mambo would chant powerful spells, light candles, manipulate the doll to achieve the desired effect. The meaning behind the pins and symbols. Different colors and symbols were used to signify specific intentions. Red pin, love and attraction. Black pin, pain and curses. Green pin, wealth and prosperity. Though feared as a weapon of black magic, voodoo dolls were originally meant to be tools of healing and spiritual connection. However, their mystery and power turned them into one of the most misunderstood and feared practices in history. Voodoo dolls were not just ordinary fabric figures. They were believed to hold power over a person's life, influencing their health, emotions, and even fate. Some used voodoo dolls to remove pain or improve health, believing the doll could channel positive energy into a person's bodies. Others used them for revenge, piercing needles into the doll or even burning it to bring suffering to their target. It was widely believed that if a voodoo doll was created in someone's name, their life and well-being became tied to it. Victims could experience physical pain and mysterious illnesses, emotional distress and mental breakdowns, even death in extreme cases. Some instances of black magic rituals involving voodoo dolls were blamed for unexplained deaths. As a result, Christian communities condemned voodoo practices, leading to severe restrictions and accusations of witchcraft. One infamous case occurred in New Orleans in the 1800s. A man named Jacques was accused of creating a voodoo doll to harm his enemy. Soon after, the victim's health began to deteriorate. He suffered from unexplained pain, and within months he died. When authorities searched Jacques' home, they discovered a doll with pieces of the victim's clothing and needles stuck into it. This incident fueled widespread fear about the power of voodoo dolls. According to science, the effects of voodoo dolls were often psychological. If someone believed they were cursed, their fear and stress could trigger real health issues and changes in behavior. In modern times, voodoo dolls have lost their dark reputation and are now seen as cultural artifacts and tourist souvenirs, especially in New Orleans and Haiti. Many are now used for healing, positive energy, and good luck. The Hand of Glory was not just a tool of dark magic. It was a symbol of crime, supernatural power, and pure terror. Its existence blurred the lines between reality and the occult, making it one of the most feared artifacts in history. The Hand of Glory was considered a sacred talisman for thieves, believed to protect them from being caught. It was thought to be a bridge between the physical world and dark spirits, summoning demonic entities while also posing a danger to its own creators. The presence of a Hand of Glory in a home was seen as an ominous warning. If discovered, it was believed to leave a permanent curse on the household. Many cases linked to the Hand of Glory involved not just theft, but also mysterious deaths. The hand didn't just render victims unconscious, it left them completely paralyzed, making them vulnerable to robbery and even murder. A famous 17th century English tale tells of a thief named William, who used a Hand of Glory to rob a wealthy home. As soon as he lit the hand, everyone inside the house fell unconscious. He looted the mansion, but as he passed by a mirror, legend says the reflection of the Hand of Glory appeared. The moment he saw it, William collapsed and died on the spot, a warning that dark magic always comes with a price. In modern times, the Hand of Glory is considered a piece of folklore rather than a real magical artifact. However, its chilling history still fascinates researchers and paranormal enthusiasts. Some museums have preserved samples of Hands of Glory, with one of the most well-known on display at the Whitby Museum in UK. A symbol of fear and human belief, the Hand of Glory remains one of history's most terrifying magical objects. It serves as a reminder of how fear, superstition, and belief in the supernatural have driven people to create, use, and fear dark magical tools. Imagine a magical paste that gives you the power to fly through the air or transports you to an alternate reality, where you can meet dreams and dark spirits. This is the flying ointment, one of the most mysterious and controversial rituals associated with witches. The dark magic of the flying ointment. The flying ointment was a mystical salve ointment that witches allegedly applied to their skin. It was believed to give them the ability to fly through the air, reaching sabbats, witches' gatherings. The ointment was thought to be used for spiritual and astral projection, allowing witches to travel to different realms. This was not just a legendary fantasy. During the European witch trials, it was considered one of the key pieces of evidence against accused witches. The flying ointment first appeared in 15th and 16th century grimoires and demonology texts, where it symbolized the witch's ability to fly. During witch trials, it was forcibly confessed by accused witches that they had used the ointment as part of the accusations against them. The recipe for flying ointment was as dark and horrifying as the practice itself. To make this potion, rare and poisonous ingredients were used, including mandrake, a poisonous plant known to induce hallucinations and unconsciousness; belladonna, deadly nightshade, a plant that distorted the mind and induced spiritual visions; hellebore, a poisonous flower that aided in astral projection; opium and animal fat, used to create the ointment's smooth texture and enhance its potency. While making the flying ointment, spells and incantations were recited to imbue it with magical energy. It was believed that the ointment was made in a witch's cauldron, and the combination of ingredients depended on the witch's intentions, whether for travel, power, or summoning spirits. Once made, the ointment was believed to have the ability to transport witches to distant places, whether to attend a sabbat or to engage in dark rituals. The effects of the ointment could be mind-altering, pushing the user into a trance-like state where their body might appear motionless, but their spirit would journey far beyond. The flying ointment symbolized a profound connection between dark magic and the astral world, as witches used it to escape the earthly realm and interact with spirits and supernatural forces. However, this dangerous potion also played a role in the persecution of witches during the trials, as it was used as evidence to accuse them of witchcraft and consorting with the devil. The Hand of Glory was not witches used flying ointment on their hands, feet, and sometimes genital areas because these spots allowed the poison to quickly absorb into the bloodstream. The results were hallucinations, euphoria, and the illusion that they were flying through the air. It was believed that this potion would transport the witches to the astral realm, where they could attend their sabbat, witches' gatherings. Some witches even claimed they used it to contact dark spirits or the devil. However, the toxic nature of the ointment was a major risk. An overdose could be fatal, and the effects could permanently alter the mind, leading to madness. The hallucinations induced were so terrifying that people often felt they were being captured by demons or spirits. The deadly effects of overuse. If misused or overapplied, the ointment could cause someone to fall into a coma or even die. The flying ointment was considered proof of witchcraft during the witch trials, leading many to be tortured and executed. One famous story from 1560s Germany tells of Margaretha, a witch accused of using the flying ointment to curse the people of her village. The villagers claimed she would fly through the night sky, passing over their homes, bringing them sickness and misfortune. When Margaretha was arrested, she allegedly confessed to making a dark potion with belladonna and mandrake root. However, modern historians believe this confession was extracted under torture. From a modern scientific standpoint, the ingredients used in flying ointment, like belladonna and mandrake, could indeed create hallucinations and the illusion of astral projection. It was the power of belief and suggestion that contributed to the experience, leading the users to think they gained supernatural abilities. Flying ointment has left a lasting mark in history, blurring the line between superstition and reality. It is a prime example of how fear, religious persecution, and mythology turned an innocent potion into a dangerous myth. The witch trials and the fear of witchcraft transformed this seemingly harmless practice into a symbol of dark magic, forever linking it to mystery, fear, and the unknown. Necromancy literally means talking to the dead or death magic. It is a form of dark magic that has existed for centuries, often associated with forbidden rituals. It was believed that necromancy was used for several purposes, including uncovering the secrets of the dead, gaining insight into future events, using the dead to curse enemies, increasing one's power and prosperity. The beliefs of necromancers. Necromancers, those who practice necromancy, believe that once a person died, their soul moved to a different realm. The goal of necromancy was to reach that realm and control the spirits of the dead. Necromancy can be traced back to some of the earliest civilizations. Shamans and priests in these societies often performed rituals to communicate with the dead. In Greek mythology, Odysseus, a legendary hero, communicated with spirits to learn about his future. In ancient Egypt, the practice of creating mummies and guiding them on their spiritual journeys can also be considered a form of necromancy. In medieval Europe, necromancy became associated with demonic forces. It was believed that witches and dark magicians made pacts with the devil in their attempts to control the spirits of the dead. The Church condemned necromancy as a heretical and unholy act, associating it with witchcraft and the darkest forms of magic. The dark rituals of necromancy. The process of necromancy was incredibly complex and terrifying, involving many dark and demonic elements such as dead bodies or parts of skeletons, like skulls or bones, dark symbols and sigils used to summon spirits, blood offerings to enhance magical power, special herbs like belladonna and mandrake, known for their hallucinogenic and toxic properties, candles and mirrors to facilitate spiritual connections and visions. Necromancy was a dangerous and forbidden art that blurred the line between the living and the dead, and its practitioners were often feared and persecuted for attempting to control forces beyond human understanding. After collecting all the necessary materials, the necromancer would choose an isolated, dark location, such as a graveyard or an ancient temple. Here, they would create sacred symbols and protective circles to ensure the spirits stayed under control. The necromancer would then chant special incantations and spells to summon the souls of the dead from the realm of the dead. Following the summoning, blood offerings or sacrifices of living beings would be made to appease the spirit. Once the spirit was summoned, the necromancer would ask questions, seeking knowledge about future events, curses for enemies, or commands to gain power. The dangers of necromancy. However, if the spirit was not sent back to its realm properly, it could become uncontrollable, posing a danger to the necromancer. Disturbing the spirits was extremely dangerous, as angry or uncontrollable spirits could torture the necromancer physically and mentally. Those who practiced necromancy often fell victim to hallucinations and nightmares, and it was common for them to lose their senses or fall into madness. Sometimes, necromancers would accidentally summon evil spirits instead of the intended ones, creating danger for both themselves and those around them. Additionally, working with dead bodies brought infections and diseases, adding to the inherent risk. Necromancy was often sought by kings and warriors who used it to learn about future battles or political schemes. The goal of necromancy was to uncover the hidden knowledge of the dead. Necromancers were also employed to curse enemies, causing them both physical and mental suffering. One notable figure associated with necromancy is Dr. John Dee, an Elizabethan alchemist and occultist who is believed to have practiced necromancy. He created an angelic language to communicate with spirits. The Necromantian Temple in Greece was a sacred place where people visited to communicate with their lost loved ones. The rituals there were intense and deeply spiritual. Necromancy is a practice that blends fear and mystery, acting as a mirror to human curiosity and the terror of the unknown. It raises the question, can we truly pierce the veil of death and cross into the realm beyond? In your opinion, do you believe necromancy is a dark art or just a game of imagination? In this exploration, we've uncovered some of the most terrifying and mysterious witchcraft practices, redefining the limits of human imagination and fear. Whether it's the journey to the afterlife through necromancy or the dream of flying with a flying ointment, these are not just magical arts, but reflections of human curiosity and fear. But the question remains, were these just stories, or did these rituals truly claim victims? This journey is far from over, as there are still many darker secrets hidden beneath the surface. In the next video, we'll explore even creepier and spine-chilling witchcraft topics, revealing the truth behind them. So if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon, because the next chapter will keep you up all night. Fear is just the beginning. There are many more mysteries yet to be revealed. Which topic did you find the creepiest? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video for another dark journey.